What's up, y'all? Today is December the 16th, 2013. This is our Raw review. This is a Tree of Woe show. Justin is not here. He's not going to be coming down anytime soon. He got stuff to handle today, so I got to handle stuff today, if you know what I'm saying. Just like my boy D. Bryan got to handle stuff today. But we start off the show not with my boy D. Bryan. We started off with Randy Orton, middle of the ring, recapping that TLC main event. And he's flapping his gums, and he's talking about how he's the man now, and he beat Cena, and Cena goes, "Yeah, you beat me fair and square, but you need to fight Daniel Bryan." And he's like, "No," and there Triple H goes, "They said the others say yes. So tonight, you'll fight Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan." So that's how the main event was set up, but it took 20 minutes, and I told you what happened in a minute, counting my weird intro. So that's about how it went down. Not a whole lot happened. The entire roster standing out there. I hate when they do this, because in the corner you got the Wyatt family, who seems to hate everybody. Okay. What are they doing out there? Why are the bad guys not beating up the good guys? People who still have issues. There's qualms. There's still stuff unsettled. Why do they do this? Who cares? In their mind, they're thinking this is going to be great. It's going to show that Daniel Bryan's the most important guy. Not Daniel Bryan, but Randy Orton. Freudian slip, because in my mind it's my boy D. Bryan. But, whatever. After that, there was a voting on WWE.com. We voted congrats, because I'm guessing your vote got chosen. It was, who were the Rhodes Bros going to fight tonight? Not for the tag belts, because why would they fight in a tag match for the tag belts? Oh, good thing it wasn't, because Big Show and Rey Mysterio won and beat them. In my notes I said Big Show won handily, which was the greatest pun I could have thought of, because he used his big old hand and knocked him out cold. He knocked out Goldust, and I'm trying to remember other stuff that went down. When the was 3 hours, it's kind of tough to remember all the different details, intricacies. Rey Mysterio slid out from underneath the bottom rope and hit Cody Rhodes, and it was, boom! It was cool, but this really... How great last night was, this was not up to par, even though the crowd I felt was a little bit hotter and they were ready to cheer more. It's just the face-on-face needs to have some sort of edge behind it or something they're fighting for. If they're just fighting the fight, no one's going to be cheering or booing. That was what was really weird about it. It's just because like they both walked up and they shook hands. And it wasn't for the tag belts. They were just fighting for the opportunity to maybe fight for the tag belts. Fighting because that's what Big Show and Rey Mysterio do? I don't know. One minor plot hole can tear apart anything. But Bad News Barrett has no plot holes because he's there for 30 seconds to tell you, what did he say this time? Tell you some bad news. I think the bad news this time was you live in Texas. You live in Dallas. Dallas sucks. Ha, Cowboy. He didn't even make a pop shot at the Cowboys. Twitter would probably would have picked that off. Probably would have intercepted that one too. If you're a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry. Didn't want to bring it up. I'm sure I turned on the TV today. Every single person on the television was bringing it up. That's not what I'm here to do. Why would I keep bringing up the same thing over and over again? Why would I start off every single hour of every single show with the same exact Cowboys thing, the same exact Jason Garrett thing, when there was a lot of other cool stuff that happened? But whatever. In case you don't know what Bad News Barrett is, Wade Barrett stands up at a podium, basically where they used to make the anonymous general manager announcements. Holy crap, my hair sucks today. So, walks up there, grabs the microphone, reads some bad news, and then hashtag Bad News Barrett pops up on the screen, which was, for some reason, worked a lot better in their online show, but when he's just standing there, doesn't work all that great. I don't know. I didn't like this one all this much. But Randy Orton's backstage, and he's mad at the Authority, and the Authority's like, "We have your back." Do they? We'll find out. Oh, sorry. So, after that, Dolph Ziggler and Fandango fought. If you saw the pre-show last night, you probably saw this match. Probably close to the same. I didn't see the pre-show last night, and I checked out mentally during this one because why are they fighting? I didn't catch up on that. Is Dolph mad that he lost? Well, he beat Fandango via roll-up, and I feel like they were killing time on this Raw in some of these segments just so they can go to the Christmas Raw. After the Christmas Raw, they'll have the Raw up for New Year's on the 30th, I think. That's how numbers work, yes. And they'll come back 5th or the 6th. At that point, you're in Rumble build mode, so you can go with this. You can go with a gimmick episode next 2 weeks. So they're just killing time with this, and you can fill a lot more guys in with little dumb gimmick things for Christmas and for New Year's and all that. I got an idea. Why not, when they're fighting over the Christmas one, how about Dolph Ziggler gains a love interest in Summer Rae and try to turn her good. And meanwhile, Fandango's just like, that's my dance partner. No. Then they have a reason to fight. And you have a girl in the middle of it who can put on the mean face and can put on the hot face. Works out great. I know you guys watch this WWE. Put that in there. Don't credit me at all. Don't worry. Like 500, 600 people see our reviews, and they'll freak out, and they'll know that it came from me. But even then, there's still plausible deniability where you guys can say you're ahead in the plans already. So you guys are good, but I know you guys watch. Because chances are, I mean, if you ever think about it, how dumb would they be to not hop on YouTube and look up what people thought about their last episode? Like, and the thing is, the people with the higher amount of views usually means that people have agreed with them or appreciate their opinion and keep watching it, which is probably why we only got like 2,000 subs. Hit that subscribe button. But I can't complain about everything because Big E and Mark Henry were a tag team today and they killed it. Mark Henry, Big E, Langston, we flexing on them. I had to wait room in a little bit, so I ain't gonna flex anymore. But you know, when it starts going off, man, Big E and Mark Henry, when they hit that hot tag, it's the power moves, it's crazy. And hopefully this builds those two in a match, because you can go face on face with that because Mark Henry's been around long enough. When you go face to face with their new, I can understand when they're like, well, fans don't want to pick a side. When you have the old guy versus the new guy, it's like people are going to be like, well, I like the new guy, but it's Mark Henry. And then people are going to have a reason to argue with each other, which is what they want. But they defeated the Real Americans today. It was cool. Antonio Cesaro didn't spin anybody, so that was kind of a downer, but he can't do it every match or else it loses its luster. We also found out in the next segment that Mark Henry is going to be good Santa and Damien Sandow is bad Santa, and they're battling for Christmas. So if Damien Sandow pulls off the upset, there will be no Christmas. Think about that. Tune in next week to see if Mark Henry can save Christmas. Did my best to plug that one. I don't know how they plug it. Oh man, they probably did about as bad of a job as I did to try to get people to watch that crap. Bad Santa, good Santa. Make sure you see it. Christmas is on the line. It's like a crappy ABC family movie. Good Santa faces off with bad Santa. At least good Santa is... I mean, at least bad Santa's not the black one. Or else I'd be screaming for racism. Mark Henry's in nice guy mode right now. And then, well... I'm just going to read these next notes word for word, because I think I mark out for myself in my notes. So Ryback and Curtis Axel defeat Tons of Frunk. Brodus meh, instead of Clay. Get it? Funny. Yeah, I'm better with words than I am talking. Because I don't speak words, I speak lyrics. Every single one of these reviews is really like a freestyle rap. But Brodus meh, turns on Tensai and walks away, and Xavier Woods and R-Truth were on commentary, and they ended up dancing with the Funkadactyls. And I think this was a way. I hope they didn't bring up Xavier Woods in the way it's running through my head right now, to where they said, all right, well, we want to turn Brodus heel, but we got to find a way to spin out the Funkadactyls. Well, we can't just put him with R-Truth because there needs to be two people. And there's not really a guy who dances a whole lot right now that we could use. That's just, could be friends with R-Truth. Let's go down to developmental and find a black guy. Yeah, we'll find a black guy, put him with R-Truth, and then they will dance with the Funkadactyls because black people like dancing with black people. And that's what people want to see, is dancing black people. I think that was their decision-making process. And this wasn't a long-term thing to build up Xavier Woods becoming a star or anything like that. It was, oh crap, we need to, these girls are on Total Divas, we gotta find a way to do it. And it sucks because Xavier Woods, when he was He was killing the game on NXT, man. I'm telling you, watch some of it. Just watch some of his intros. How much fun he had. Where he did the water thing, where the water was just coming off. Of course, you can't do that though, because the spotlight water thing is one guy only, ever. It's so tough to do a segue by yourself, especially when you're trying to be time conscious. I know you guys want to hear me for 30 minutes. One guy for 30 minutes, kind of boring unless it's a shug guy. But CM Punk comes out, and he could talk for 30 minutes, and you guys would be just fine. Boom, segue, son. Got it. I was nervous how I was going to get these segues going, but that was a good one. He comes out, talks about the Authority, and he's talking about how he's mad that he got pulled off. Randy Orton hit him, and he got pulled off by Triple H, and then Shawn Michaels comes out. And he got some "You Sold Out" chants, which I'm glad they're booing somebody. And Michael is like, "Ugh, that hurt me more than it hurt you. You know how much I care about you. You know that it's been well documented." And if you don't know the well documentation, HBK was the guy who stood up in the meeting and said, "Well, can this Punk guy do anything? Are we just selling this guy out because he doesn't look the same way? I'm pretty sure he can do something if he's here." More or less. Not verbatim quotes. I'm freestyling, of course. But he talked about super kicks, and then he somehow finds a way to awkwardly segue into the introduction of the Shield, which is my inspiration for tonight's Raw, awkward segues. Bing! I wish I had sound effects, but that takes a lot of work and it's not worth it. So he enters the Shield, and the Usos win the vote that was going with WWE app to see who was tagging with CM Punk, because he beat all three by himself. So of course he needs tag partners for Raw. Once again, minor details. What the heck was... Yeah, I don't get that one. And then Roman Reigns defeats Punk and the Usos via a spear after they went back like a 15-minute match. It was solid. I liked it. And, I mean, there wasn't a... I mean, they do... The way that they do the Shield's crash out endings is something I enjoy. I'm sure some people are probably just like, "We've seen this over and over again." Sorry. We've seen this over and over again. When will the Shield break up so we can finally see Dean Ambrose to become the U.S. champion that he really should be and carry the belt all the way through to 2015 to where he unifies it with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a 60-man Iron Man match with Seth Rollins and I don't know who else at the time, but it has to be a triple threat. Maybe Roman Reigns, but he might be future endeavored because he cannot wrestle because he is too tall to be able to wrestle properly. I'm sure some people will find ways to complain about this, but when you have crap served up for you for a lot of the segments, you take the Shield, and even when there's some stuff that doesn't make a whole lot of sense or seems the same, whatever. You roll with it. At least I do. So, Roman Reigns picked up the win, like I said. I had to go back to that. And no segue at all, because it's possible to segue from Roman Reigns to the Wyatts. But talk about bringing down the machine and mention Sister Abigail, and it was really creepy. And I don't think I can really describe in words what they said without repeating their words. It's a whole lot of words I didn't write down. If you're I feel like if you guys are watching this, you probably watched Raw. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how the review thing works. Did you guys watch Raw and you want my opinion on these things? Or did you not watch Raw and you want to know what happened? I'm pretty sure you guys want to know how I feel about what happened. How I feel about the Wyatt family is I'm not sure where they're going with it, but I feel like they might know. And I'm, not being sure where they're going with it when you can call the main event pretty much spot for spot most nights is a very good moment. I appreciate it. Maybe the Wyatt family's thing leads absolutely nowhere and the whole Sister Abigail thing is worthless, or maybe it leads to one of the best angles in wrestling history. It's up to them. They haven't done anything to deteriorate the Wyatt family's mystique yet. They haven't found a way to make them comical when they're not. They haven't found a way to destroy them anyway, so give it a week. If Bray Wyatt comes out dressed as Santa Claus and talks about saving people for Christmas, how will you all feel about that? Think about that for a second. My opinion, short term, it would be hilarious. Long term hurts them. So of course they're going to do it because that's what WWE cares about is the short term. If you're seriously watching the WWE, I apologize for keep cracking jokes at you guys, but you guys have a very good track record of blowing your load too quick, which I thought you were going to do tonight in the main event, but I can't skip the 6 Diva tag match that happens before it. Another great segue. I looked around to see if anyone noticed it, but didn't. Oh man, that was a great segue. Raw is segues tonight. AJ, Tamina, and Alicia Fox defeat the Bellas and Natalya after Tamina probably broke Nikki's nose with a super kick. I need a super kick. Of course, when you get hit in the face, you recoil, you bounce back, and that's what deters a lot of the forces, which is why people can get hit with intense punches and not die immediately. You think, oh, that much blunt force, that's going to break bones. But when you hit here and it recoils and you move with it, usually move with punches. That's why you see Floyd Mayweather bobbing and weaving, man. That's how physics work. But when you have AJ Lee on your back, if you catch something to the head and you can't go backwards, and you get hit right in the nose area, chances are you're not going to have a good time. You can't roll away from it. You can't move your head to the side because your head is obstructed because you have something on your back. So that's what happened. That's probably why she broke her nose. It was a weird spot. I mean, she sold it like she broke her nose. She didn't sell it like she got kicked in the face. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I feel like usually super kicks, you're like, oh, my jaw. Oh, she was like, I don't want anyone to see my nose is broken. Oh, I forgot if I closed it like this, you guys probably can't hear me because that really muffled, so I gotta open it like this. That's what she was doing. She just kept grabbing her nose like, ah. But there was no grabbing of noses in the main event. Dang it, the main event is where I blow the segue train that I had going on so well. Randy Orton's backstage talking to Renee Young how he's been disrespected, man. How he doesn't want Daniel Bryan didn't earn this and he shouldn't even be in this fight. And then they proceed to go out there and in the main event tear the house down. It was a fantastic match. Orton was beating up Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was working like an actual face and wasn't just beating him up the entire time, which is kind of boring. You don't watch Aladdin and sit there and cheer for Aladdin every single moment because he keeps doing everything that needs to happen. The girl doesn't fall in love with him immediately. I mean, maybe she does. There's no conflicts, and Aladdin was a bad example. I looked over my DVDs and did not see Aladdin, but I don't know why I went with it. But I mean, Hoosiers, not Hoosiers. Let's go with the Rounders. Yeah, as great a poker player Matt Damon is, he doesn't win the World Series of Poker right at the start of the movie and keep winning everything. You've got to have your hits. You got to have your ebbs and flows. And there's something that I feel like some people, when you have 5 minutes, contract stuff and realize they got to keep their offense and to keep people entertained. But this match was very well balanced for what it needed to be, which meant that Daniel Bryan had to get 30% of the offense more or less, and the rest had to be Randy Orton beating him up. Orton hit the low blow on Daniel Bryan to end the match, though, after they went back and forth for about 30 minutes. I didn't know if the title was on the line or not, but you knew it wasn't going to change hands tonight, especially like that, unless Orton pooped in someone's bag again. And then, of course, after Daniel Bryan catches the low blow, my chief complaint of the night would be this. Why doesn't Randy Orton just sit there and just get so much heat and build for that right there? Because at that point, people were so mad that their guy just got screwed out of the match in a way that they haven't ended enough matches recently. They don't have the actual finish that's straight out of the Ric Flair playbook. Is doing that so you can get away with it. I mean, you usually get away with it, but you can get away with it, and you end up just low blowing him, and not even getting the pinfall and just getting DQ'd. Very good acting. The place was going nuts, bonkers, boos. So of course, when the place is caring about something, you play Cena's music, and people are going to cheer. That's going to make people feel good about stuff. And it sets up what really is the main thing here is Daniel Bryan not being in the main event yet. But instead you have Cena and Randy Orton. The two guys. So, if you're following me here and you've been following us recently, talk a lot about actual story aspects, because I feel like that's something that they say they want to be Disney. We're going to hold them to the Disney standard. At what point in any Disney movie is the main character the side plot between the two guys fighting? And not even like, I mean, even if you find one where the guy's on the side, it's still his story. How is anyone but John Cena going to benefit from this storyline? When he beats Orton, Orton's not going to be booed out of the building for what he did against Cena. No, no one cares about that rivalry. They care. Randy Orton got more heat once the match was going tonight than he got all last night, all tonight leading up to the announcement of that. And I want to say for the past 3 or 4 weeks, he's been getting no heat. All of a sudden, he's against a guy people care about. The guy that people want to see win. The thing about Cena is they don't want Cena to win. They're waiting for him to win. That's why they go crazy when he wins and when he starts hitting the 5 moves. And it's not like a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Daniel Bryan's a matter of if, because he actually takes losses, and it makes sense. So, following along at home, who were the main 2 players in tonight's Raw? And think about that for about a week. Maybe if you watch Main Event or SmackDown, maybe they'll revisit it and you can think about it again later. Think about that. That'll be the lasting image that you have in your mind, is Randy Orton standing there getting booed after he took out John Cena. Even in here, it talks about the last sentence I wrote is Cena comes down and beats up Orton, and Orton RKO's Cena. That right there tells you every single thing you know about the positioning of the stars. But I mean, like I said, it was my one qualm. I didn't think the show was bad. I enjoyed watching it. I wasn't sitting here just mad. I wasn't like, oh man, why am I watching this? I enjoyed it. It was good. But if I didn't state how I felt about stuff, and I said, oh yeah, it was good, 5-second video, no one would watch it. And no one would care, and there'd be no actual discussion. So let's start some discussion down on the bottom. When I do the solo videos, I usually try to log back in and feed in some more comments. So let me know how you felt about it below. If you're not subscribed and this is your first time seeing us and you're 22 minutes in, I appreciate it. You can subscribe down here. I think it's down there a little bit. You can even inbox us if you made it this far and say, hey, I just made it this far. It's my first time ever seeing you guys. I just subscribed, and I'll give you maybe a shout out. I'm bad with shout outs because it's a week between shows, but I'll do my best. Anyway, take care. Have a good day, night. Whenever you're watching this, I hope the rest of your 24-hour span after that goes well. I know some of you guys are going to watch this at 2 o'clock in the morning. Other of you guys will watch this at work as opposed to doing actual work. Some of you guys watch it during your lunch break. I don't know. If you don't want to just talk about actual wrestling, you just want a little thing to talk about down there, tell me when you watch our videos, because I mean, if you guys are watching the next day, we can make it a little bit better quality maybe. We can actually write some stuff down besides my cliff notes, and we could actually cut some stuff up. But that's not us. I just want to know when you guys watch. If you watch. If you guys actually watch this far, thank you.